A little bit of baked, actually, we should say. A little bit of baked in this box. But before I open up this box, was there ever a thought that this is what you're going to be when you grew up?
Yes and no. A lot of that, my inspiration comes from bars. I'll be honest with you. I'll go to a bar and I'll have some of their signature drinks, and I start seeing what kind of flavors they're pairing together. If you can drink them, you can eat them, in my opinion.
And you had made a post about people DMing you for orders, and I thought that's very inspiring for somebody that hopefully is listening and is doing that right now, because I feel like a lot of times we get judged on those kind of things. Like
absolutely,
like
everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah,
I started with box cake, like I told you earlier. I started with box cake and Cool Whip from the freezer, and then finally made my own. So yeah, I mean, everybody has got to have a starting point or a starting line.
So when you guys decided to move to Castroville for not move, but open up a second restaurant with Blue Lacy, did you know that you were going to open up the baked?
No. That was almost like getting thrown on the deep end and be learn how to swim.
Right into the wolves.
Yeah. And it was rough. When we burn things, of course, I cannot fix that. They're burnt and they got to go in the trash. That has happened a few times. And the very first time, I'm not going to lie to you, I walked out of my bake shop. I walked to the corner and I looked up and I remember just thinking it was 3 days of work.
But I don't put timers or anything. And I'm sitting there on my computer working on stuff, and she's like, "Is this done? Not yet. How do you know?" I just know.
I just feel it in my soul.
Yeah, it's like, well, it smells like it's done. It's like, it's not done. And so it's like, how do you know? How long have you had it? I was like, I don't know. So I did not. I had the ones that it kind of looks like a horn.
Was it the one that I was about to say? Okay, the stuffed one.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have in pistachio.
Oh, I made a mess with that. Yeah.
Oh, they are. They're so messy. And I try to tell people that I'm like, if you're gonna get a stuffed croissant, be ready to have something to catch it under.
But this one is not gonna make it home. I'm gonna tell you that.
It wouldn't make it home either. That's his soul's favorite now. It used to be the chocolate chip cookie. That's become his favorite now. Is the oatmeal raisin one. Don't lie.
No, I'm not gonna lie. That's definitely not gonna make it home.
No, that's awesome. I love it. This job is hard, by the way.
What?
Your job.
This is easy. We're just talking.
I know. Sometimes that's hard. And no.
I never press record.
No.
Ching.
And this is why we get to start over. This is a beauty podcast.
Wow, we just did 20 minutes of nothing. Hey, welcome to Too Hard, Too Fast podcast. In this episode, we're back in Castroville, Texas. And you know what? At some point, people may say we never left. But in this episode, we're actually joined by La Reina de los Postres.
Hello, guys.
Her name is Grecia. Oh, man.
Grecia.
I said it. Did I say it right?
You did. You said it right.
Grecia. I don't know. I second-guessed myself. Her name is as unique as her pastries, and we're going to get into why. Actually, it was. I'll say it's because of the croissants. But her pastries are delicious. It's here located in Castroville, right next to Blue Lacy. So if you catch the last episode with Esaul, it's located right next door. They're actually husband and wife.
Yes.
So we're gonna get into that. So let's sit back, buckle up. Let's go too hard, too fast.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
Hey guys, this is Grecia Ramos from Baked in Castroville, Texas, and I'm going too hard, too fast.
We're going, and I'm gonna eat all this by myself.
Do not feel guilty. We don't judge.
Grecia, this is okay. Round two. So, first time we went through it and I didn't press record.
We're just practicing.
Yeah, too hard, too fast. So we I'm trying to do this like I didn't do it already. I'm just like, that's fake, bro. Don't be fake.
We're not.
Okay, talking about your pastries, it's very unique because of the croissants. I my knowledge of croissants have only been through the Burger King croissant sandwich. Okay, that's the first time I've ever had a croissant. And then I think the other place I ever had a croissant was at it's at a. I don't even want to name them because I don't like them. I dislike them so much. I'm tempted to.
I'm not going to put you on the spot.
No, I want to. You know what?
But you can tell me off camera.
I mean, I don't need anything from them. So, I don't even know the name anymore. They called Scratch Kitchen, but it's a real name. It's an actual name. My wife likes going. I dislike them.
Is it the Corner Bakery?
No, it's a chain restaurant. So I'm not talking much about locals.
Yeah, because I think the Corner Bakery is
It's a chain.
It's a chain.
No, it's an actual restaurant. Like it's a full on. They have chicken fried steak and.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Know.
Either way, it doesn't matter. But that's the only place they would serve croissants, and they're very flaky. They're very buttery, and they're good. Yeah.
As they should be.
And I think they cook them to order, and they're good. I think that's the only thing I really enjoy from there.
Okay.
But again, it was something I would use to soup up the last bit of my meal. Never would I ever thought that a croissant could be a dessert.
Yes, it's so good.
And
it could be anything actually, savory, sweet. Now they're flat, which that we'll get that one later. But
Are they not supposed to be?
Well, it's 3 days of work just so that you can crush them. It's like
them.
why? It's like having the best meat brisket to have, and then all of a sudden you're gonna chop it up. It's like, no, I just it's 3 days of work just to flatten it. Absolutely not.
It's 3 days to make a croissant.
Yes.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, 3 days.
Wow.
Between the mixing of the dough, the encapsulation and lamination of the dough, and then the shaping, and then finally the proofing. So yeah, it's a lot. So a lot that goes into it.
In researching you, the word lamination came out a lot.
Yes.
So lamination, I learned to be that it's the process of layering, so it's like bread.
Yes. So it's bread, butter. So every time you fold, it's going to be dough, and then butter, dough, butter. So as you're folding, you're creating more and more layers, which those layers, once they go into the oven, all of that butter will basically just fry it from the inside out. That's how you get the honeycomb on the inside, the nice crispiness on the inside, crispiness on the outside. So it's a lot of layers. You can basically, starting off with 57 layers, is 55 to 57 is the start. And then from there, you can go higher or lower, depending on the crumb that you want on the inside.
What's the highest people should go?
I don't know. So I've tried to push it. I pushed it to 90. I think it was 90 something. And
what does that do?
It becomes very fragile. So depending on how much more layers you have, now they're going to be very thin, and it could collapse on you. They can be very flat croissants. And I'm going for a certain type of croissant that I have not made yet. I haven't gotten to where I want my croissants at right now. So we're still working on that.
That's interesting. Oh, wow. Because they're good already. I'm not just saying that because you're on the podcast.
Thank you.
I was legit blown away when I came to try it. And I ate it in private too. I took it home and I ate it in private. I was like, I'm gonna see if this is good.
Es que hace mugrero. It's everywhere. It's like you have to have something under.
I heard somewhere that's what it's supposed to do.
Yes.
Or I think you said, I was researching it. I think you said it it's supposed to. That's what it's supposed to.
Yes. If you're not finding crumbs 3 days later in your car, did you even have a croissant?
Yes. So
you had a pan.
Definitely pan dulce.
Yes.
And that's definitely what I did. Because I know I was gonna judge it. I was like, this croissant needs this croissant needs some egg and cheese.
Oh, we're getting there.
You're gonna do that?
Oh yeah, I want to do breakfast sandwiches so bad with the croissants. I know, I'm coming for you. Whataburger who?
She ain't coming. She's here now. Y'all need to watch out.
Exactly.
No, that's okay. I'm all in for that.
Oh yeah, do sandwiches too. We made some for the eclipse and they were so good. I told us, I was like, I think I'm gonna put these on the menu. He's like, absolutely. I was like, let's do it. Let's do it.
Did you guys get a lot of people here for the eclipse?
Yeah, the bar did. We got a lot of people in Castroville. They were all around the area, of course. And then it was all eclipsed. I was like, yeah, but it was all cloudy the entire time. I'm like, the little sliver of the eclipse that I got was great.
No, that's funny.
Well, we did another 300 years for it. No worries.
Right. Let's go into how you got started with the bakery. So,
yes.
I keep wanting to say shop, but earlier you said bakery.
Bakery. Yeah, bake shop, bakery.
Can I switch it up?
Yeah, of course.
I'll get in trouble.
No, absolutely not.
Oh.
I just sometimes when they're like they give it a name, like if it's a French bakery or it's a Mexican bakery, that's where I'm just like, we're just a bakery. We like all types of flavors and desserts and whatever comes out of that bake shop comes out of that bake shop. We don't want to say we are specifically lamination, yes, but that lamination can go basically anywhere and be anything. So
okay,
like
I
like to be out of the box, you know.
And it's Castroville is very much German.
It's
town?
German, French, Czech, I believe.
Or is it all Six Flags? They have all Six Flags.
Yes,
Over here, right?
so it's an Alsatian community. So this is where the Alsatians, I hope I'm saying it right, they came in, they settled here, they created a French background, German background, and they've stayed to their history very, very much.
Nice. And whether you're saying it right or wrong, this is too hard, too fast, and we don't check facts.
Exactly. There you go. I love that.
So there's no like expectation like I know when I go to New Braunfels or Fredericksburg, like the expectation is there's gonna be German style cuisines. I didn't say that right at all.
I don't know what that is, by the way.
Cuisine.
Oh, the cuisine.
There you go.
Yes. I was like, I thought you were telling me like a plate. I was like, hey.
Yeah. No, but like, let me not try to sound smart. Food. You're gonna be
La comidita.
Yes, la comida. So that's what. But when I'm in Castroville, it's usually I'm passing through. But I was saying, I said, like it's coming up. It's different. But I don't have expectations. Like every time I've been here, it's just enjoying whatever they have here. There was this one place that people would talk about that you gotta stop for kolaches or something. We won't name them unless you want to, but they're not on the podcast. So if you want to,
hey, I got friends all over.
Okay, I don't know the name, but it's like next to a gas station.
Habees is the big dog in town. They've been here for ages now. I think they've been here probably longer than my mom has been alive. They have been the only and the best game in town since they've opened up. I know they have breads and cookies and muffins and donuts and stuff like that.
Okay.
I don't know about the kolaches. It might be them or the donut shop down the street.
Or maybe I'm misremembering, but I think that's what it was. And that's as much as I knew about Castroville growing up, because most of the time it was just me passing through on the way to Austin to visit family.
I mean, I grew up on Habees. I went to Southwest High School. So my senior dad is from Castroville, and Coach would always take me a bear claw on Friday mornings before the game with like an orange juice, and it was from Habees, and I loved it. It was either the bear claw or the apple fritters. So good. So that's always something that just reminds me growing up, and something that when we would come into Castroville and celebrate Easter here, that was the place that we would always stop at, was at Habees too.
It must have been that. But I know it was like, hey, you got to stop there. Right before you go to San Antonio, stop right there.
Yes. Yeah, it had to have been.
Okay.
For sure. So everybody still stops by there. It's definitely something that it's te recuerda ese tiempo. Like it's just good baking, good different types of pastries from what we have, for sure.
Yes.
Something you grew up with, for sure.
Well, now the stopping point's going to be baked.
Yes.
Yes.
I hope so.
Well, my mom's already making plans. I told her about it, and she's like, "Hablan español?" I was like, "Yeah."
Todos. Todos.
Yeah. So that's her. That was her question. So that means to me is like she's stopping by.
Absolutely. Yeah. She needs to come by. Let us know.
And it makes me think too. Like, honestly, every time I'm in Eagle Pass, I'm from Eagle Pass. So every time I'm in Eagle Pass, I like coming through 57 and catching 35 to San Antonio. But now I start second guessing myself. I'm like, if we leave early, I might have to go through 90.
I like that.
So I can catch Castroville.
I like that.
See what kind of desserts are left.
I like that.
So when you got started, you were working at 2M's, and you were making desserts for them. Was there ever a thought that this is what you're going to be when you grew up?
Yes and no. I wanted to be there to be a baker or a cosmetologist, but cosmetologist como que no me dio. I was too afraid of having people in my chair and then get mad at me. And at least of baking, I know they take it home and they're like, well, this kind of sucked. I'm like, oh, well, it's okay. You don't gotta buy it again or come back. We're good. But being in my chair, I was like, no. So definitely went the pastry route, and I'm so glad that I did. I'm so glad I did.
I don't really sit in a barber chair or a cosmetologist chair and getting a haircut and think this sucks while I'm getting it. It's mostly like they turn you around and you look at the hair and I'm like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, but y'all guys are so used to getting y'all's haircut. For me, it's like I remember one time my hair was fried. Another time they cut my hair like 3 inches shorter.
I'll wait till I'm in my truck and go, this sucks. Like I've never told people.
Pero de vez en cuando llegan los que they're like, oh, absolutely not. I would be like, I'm so sorry. What do I do? Can I put every single hair back? I don't know what to do.
You can't put it back on. My son has long hair, and we were very careful with like because he wanted to get like the under part cut, and we were like, don't mess it up, because he doesn't want to cut it off. Like he's fine. Like I told him, like if it's messed up, we're gonna have to go to a short haircut. He's like, okay. But I was like, I don't want him to. Because I also like his long hair.
Yeah.
But I was like, don't mess it up,
it takes so long to grow.
Yeah. But now it's good. Like, not with him. He's like, but for me, like, I've been trying to grow my hair as long as his, and it's been forever already. Like, I think it just reached its stopping point, and it's like, this is as far as we go.
You got to get it trimmed. Yeah. That's going to come back.
Yeah, I think that's all. But I don't like going to the barbers. I found this one barber that looks cool, but... that is cool, and he was on the podcast. I was like, I'm just thinking about just in general. Like, I don't like going to go get my hair cut. But anyways, it's not about haircuts. It's about pastries.
Pastries.
Going off on a tangent on that.
Te dije.
But so you started. You were working at Trump's. It was either one or the other. But you were making desserts for them.
Yes.
And this led you to, and this is like I said earlier, where I was looking through your Instagram and you had made a post about people DMing you for orders, and I thought that's very inspiring for somebody that hopefully is listening and is doing that right now, because I feel like a lot of times we get judged on those kind of things, like
absolutely,
like what are you doing? Like you have your day job and then you're doing that. And everybody's like, oh, she's a master chef or whatever, you know. But at the same time, like, this is what it can happen. Like,
yes. Everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah.
I started with, box cake, like I told you earlier. I started with box cake and, Cool Whip from the freezer, and then finally made my own. So, yeah, I mean, everybody has got to have a starting point or a starting line. And some of us, it comes naturally. Some of us, it doesn't. And it's okay. It's one of those things where you just keep trucking, keep going, and until you get, better and be the best at it.
Do you feel like you are the best at it now?
I don't. I still feel like I'm a baby at it.
I don't know why I asked that question. As I was saying it, I was like, she's going to say no.
No. Well, I love what I do. Don't get me wrong. And it's like I told you, I want to get to where my croissants are. I have a vision on what I want my croissants to look like, right? And they're not there just yet. And to be honest with you, because it's me, I have a feeling I'm going to get there and be like, what else can we do?
Yes. Okay. So, that's what I was. Yes. That's where I was like trying to get to. I was like, do you think you ever will get to that satisfaction of I am here, or it's always like,
it's hard.
It's hard.
Let's
put another layer on it.
I am. I'm that person. I'll be like, ooh, that looks cute. What if we did this? And then I'm like, déjalo en paz. Leave it alone. Don't touch it anymore. It looks good. You're doing good. Just stop. But le sigo. So,
how do you mix flavors? Like well, you went. Did we talk about it here in the
our practice?
In the practice recording. I did very good research on you. You went to the Culinary Institute of America.
Yes, I did.
I'm just kidding.
Yes, I did.
Is that where you learned to kind of mix flavors, or do you still do you just dabble right now, like experimenting, or what's supposed to go with what and what's not supposed to go with what?
So school taught me a lot of the background as far as like technicalities, and how to fix things, how to put different, I guess you can say different ingredients together. But as far as flavor compositions, a lot of that, my inspiration comes from bars. I'll be honest with you. I'll go to a bar and I'll have some of their signature drinks, and I start seeing what kind of flavors they're pairing together. If you can drink them, you can eat them, in my opinion. So if I see like a really good drink and I try it and it's the flavors are just pairing, I'm like, how can I transfer that into my dessert? That's where you see my curds that are different types of curds, different types of whipped creams, my different types of cheesecakes. All of that kind of derives from what I've gone out and like had a drink. And I'm like, oh, I want to eat that.
Dang. Okay. That's the very first time I've talked to other bakers, other chefs. That's the first time anybody's ever said that they take the drink, and try to infuse it or bring it into reality as a food. That is interesting. You can't add the vodka flavor. Vodka doesn't have flavor.
I'll add some whiskey in there. We have some brandy in there. We've got all kinds of spirits inside the bake shop.
Okay,
we like to infuse. Yeah, we do like to infuse with liquor every once in a while.
That's pretty awesome.
Not too much, just because sometimes for some men, like it's like a punch in the throat, and you want to have your sweetness. But we like to put some whiskey in there, some rum. What else have we used? A lot of I don't know how to say this, but I think cordials they're called, which is like the blue carousel and like the banana flavor. Yes. So those, we'll add those in there as well. Yeah. Into simple syrups and stuff like that.
That's crazy. What would be on the menu that is something like that, or is this everything?
Right now I don't have anything on the menu with liquor, but I did have a wild berry and white chocolate bread pudding that I like to put either whiskey into or rum, depending on the season. That one was lights out. That one was so good. Yeah. Lights out. Like, yeah, despuesito after like some good barbecue, and then you got your sweets with a little liquor. A dormir.
Oh, that sounds good. So you went to the CIA.
Yes.
Well, I know we asked this in the fake recording, but it's like, but for people, how is the process getting in and getting out, like graduating?
So I applied to the CIA. That I know of, it's about 70 to 75% of people get accepted. And then I got accepted for the January 2019 startup. So I started in 2019. And then I went through my entire block, was about a year and a half, almost 2. And I got to graduate in September 2020. That was absolutely fun. We started our class with about 27 people. We graduated with about 5 to 6 people. So the people that get accepted to what everybody graduates is definitely a difference. And out of my class right now that I actually graduated with, I believe I'm the only one right now that's doing a brick and mortar. I know I have a few of my fellow classmates who are having pop-ups, and they're also in San Antonio doing some pretty amazing things. A few of them are working at different hotels as well, doing some really cool stuff out there. So yeah, it's really interesting just to see everybody's path and where we went. Some are not even in the pastry anymore. They're doing more of like background recording, writing, like they're more of a food journalist or a food styler. So not everybody that joins in and learns about baking is going directly into being a pastry chef and, opening up a brick and mortar or having, pop-ups and stuff like that. There's people that are just in it just because they want to be able to style and work in the background doing commercials and journalism. So it's really neat.
Did you join because you wanted, did it feel like in order for you to do things in the food world, did you feel like you had to join for that, or what was your reasoning for joining?
Yes. So we got called a few years ago. It was probably maybe our first or second year at 2M, and we got called from the Food Network for one of the baking championship shows, and they wanted a culinary background. I didn't have it. And to be honest with you, it was probably the best thing ever, because I would have been in there like, no sé qué hacer para nada. I would have been like, where is the boxes, and where are the eggs, the oil, and the water, because that's all I know how to do. So it was a really good thing, and that kind of like, told me like, is this going to be something you're going to do? Am I going to be at 2M, the rest of my life doing the background stuff? Like, where is my spot here? Because at the end of the day, Esau already had his spot. He was being, the pit master, the owner, running things. And I'm like, okay, where do I earn my keep here? Not that he ever asked me, like, what are you going to do? Yeah. But it was more of me, like, what do I want to
Something
accomplish?
for
You know,
your
I'm
own.
already pushing 30. Like, what am I doing with myself? My 20s were fun, but where are you at now? And that's when I started falling in love more and more with baking. And I was like, let's do it. Let's go to school and learn and bring in new things. And that's as soon as I got into school, learned a little bit. All of the desserts in 2M definitely changed.
So when you guys decided to move to Castroville for like, not move, but like open up a second restaurant with Blue Lacy, did you know that you were gonna open up the baked?
No. So I was not in the plans. I was supposed to be a corner in Blue with a little bake shop, just tiny, doing desserts for Blue. We were doing a walkthrough one day, and one of the investors, we were talking, and he was like, hey, he's like, I looked at your stuff. He's like, it looks really good. He's like, you should open up a bakery here. And I was like, yeah, of course. You know, it's in passing. It wasn't anything that they were like, yeah, let's do it. So I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Maybe one day. And then it was a few months later, and they presented me plans, and they were like, hey, how do you feel about opening up a bakery, like an actual bakery next to Blue? And I'm like, oh, you're serious. Like, you're serious right now. I thought nothing of this. Like, it was just in passing. It was whatever it was. And no, they were like, we wanted a whole thing. And I was like, well, let's see what we can do. And sure enough, I'm so grateful for it, because now I have my tiny little bake shop, and it's gorgeous. It's everything I've wanted. So it's awesome.
What was that fear or concern with doing it?
I am not versed, and I'm still not well prepared for opening up a bake shop. So my only experience working with pastries and working under anyone was at 2M. I didn't, like I had told you earlier, I'm still a baby in this industry when it comes to pastries. I am out of school 4 years now. I have never really worked under anyone. I worked at Extra Fine for about 6 months. I think it was about 6 months. I worked under Jess. She's phenomenal. She taught me a lot. And then I worked at Blush last year, and Efren, taught me a lot of business part. That was awesome as well. So for me to open up something, going from just at 2M being the cashier, the dishwasher, and back of house, to coming in and running an entire bake shop that I've never done before, and having to do inventory, payroll, paperwork, and get my staff up to par, training. That was almost like getting thrown like on the deep end and be like, learn how to swim.
Right into the wolves.
Yeah. And it was rough. It was rough. It still is rough, but I'm slowly learning. We're almost 6 months in. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's days where I'm in the shower and I'm just like, ¿qué hiciste? ¿Qué hiciste? But then, I digress, and I start thinking of everything and how great we're doing. My staff is doing phenomenal. I mean, the girls that I have just started their baking career probably about 6 months ago, 3 months ago. And the fact that we're able to get the product that we have out is phenomenal. My staff is beyond amazing. So I'm very proud of them.
I was gonna say, to the part that where you're thinking like, ¿qué hiciste? Like, I don't think that goes away with anybody. Like,
No.
It doesn't matter if you have a business or just in general in life. Like, I know I'm in the shower going, what the like, okay, I'm like, ¿qué hiciste? And I'm like, with what? With everything.
Pero querían ser jefes, ¿verdad? That's my dad's thing all the time. Quería ser jefa, ¿verdad? And I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah.
But how do you learn? How do you go by learning? Because I know, besides like just by doing, like when you make that mistake, what do you take from it? Like, how do you move over and keep going?
Well, a wise man once told me, my husband told me, if you're not messing up, you're not learning, right? He goes, if you're not messing up, you're not growing. And I seriously live by that now, because it's very true. We tend to want to be so perfect and to have everything going so well that we tend to lose sight of everybody starts somewhere. Everybody, even the best of the best, messed up at one point or another. Even the best of the best had their days where they weren't sure if it was what they wanted to do. So I keep that in mind, and I always just appreciate those moments of failure, because even I feel like we celebrate the wins, but we never celebrate the losses. And the losses are some that you need to celebrate as well. They make you grow. They help you learn. They help you see different things that you might have not seen before. So anytime that we mess up, anytime that I mess up, and even with my girls, they know, like, they're like, sorry, chef, like, we should have done that. And I was like, it's okay. Like, we're learning. This means that we've already, we know what's going to happen with this. So next time we don't do it, or next time we do something different, or next time let's do this. So the girls know it's one of those things where if you're not messing up, you're not learning. If you're not messing up, you're not growing. So, it was one of those things that even now I just take it day by day. I am an overthinker, so I can have like one thing go wrong and I'm like, chinga, lo que voy a hacer ahora? How am I going to do this? I need to do that, then the other. And it's like, no, it's like, just say for what it is. Look at our aspects of it. See what the next hurdle is going to be, because there is hurdle upon hurdle upon hurdle that's going to come my way. So I can't just focus on one and, be done with it. So yeah, it's one of those you have to grow.
And it's said everywhere, like, when you're your own boss, it just stops with you, or it ends up with you. Like, so if you do great, good job, but then you're gonna say, if I'm doing great, it's because of everybody else. But if something goes wrong, it's because
me.
of you. Yeah. So how do you deal with that process? How do you not let it beat you up? That way you can grow, as you're saying.
It's hard. It's definitely hard, and it's one of those things where it's like I whenever I do talk about that, I'm like, I'm the first one and the last one out, right? I am the captain of the ship. So if we're sinking, I expect everybody to get life rafts, and but I am the last one that's going to jump off that ship. So I have just ingrained that into my head. At the end of the day, that's something that I chose. It's something that I wanted. It's something that I made a commitment to. And I'm very big on that. I feel like we've lost the whole sense of commitment, the whole sense of your word matters, right? And I am very big on that. People's words matter to me. So if I made this commitment, if I decided to say, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to be best at, or this is what I want to accomplish, then I need to show that. I can't come into this bake shop and not lead by example with my staff. So I'm big on that, on just, again, celebrating the failures, celebrating the wins. And not everything's ever going to be the way that I want, but it's up to me to move forward. I can't play the victim and be like, poor me, poor me. I should have done this, I should have done that. It's like, okay, I should have done that, so let's do it. I should have gone this way, so let's go that way, instead of, no. Just get it done. Get it done. That's the only way you're going to accomplish things in life.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's true. I tend to do a lot of mistakes the same way twice until I start learning.
I still burn stuff. So.
Okay. I know that's where my thought process is like, someone like you or Saul or anybody else that owns a business is like, oh, you make a mistake, you learn from it, go. But I'm like, I don't know. I feel like just with this podcast alone, like I feel like I've made the same mistake more than once, and I learn from it. But sometimes it's just human, It is. Make a mistake.
It is.
Going when you burn something, how do you not let it ruin the day? Because I feel like this is more personal. I don't know if it's personal, but I just remember my mom ruining a pie or something, even if it's not even ruined, just the one tiny little thing did not go well. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
the whole celebration. There's no Navidad. There's no Navidad.
Santa Claus is not stopping at our house tonight.
Everybody go home. Thanksgiving's over. But I just remember she would get upset with it. I'm like, Mom, it still tastes really good. Like it's like, no, pero no sabes. How do you deal with that, or how do you just not let it that? Because with you, in your sense, it's also cutting into like a product that, the cost.
Yes.
So if you ruin something by mistake or whatever, it's cutting into your cost, and I feel like that's even more
repurpose. It's like the best thing we can do.
Yeah.
When we burn things, of course, I cannot fix that. They're burnt and they got to go in the trash. That has happened a few times, and the very first time, I'm not gonna lie to you, I walked out of my bake shop. I walked to the corner, and I looked up, and I remember just thinking, like, it was 3 days of work, and at this point, I wasn't probably the best at lamination, and I was still learning. So it was a combination of like, did I do right? I hadn't slept. I was tired. My stuff wasn't coming out right. And then to top it off, I burned it. And I was like, damn, man. And I just went outside. I took a breath, gave myself a few minutes, and then I came back inside. And I remember one of my girls looked at me and she's like, I need you to say something, get mad at me, say something, like, you're so quiet. And I'm like, I can't right now. I'm even processing myself, like, what did I do wrong? Like, I know I hate cooking with timers, right? But every once in a while, I needed to remember I'm not at 2M where I had a small kitchen where I could be doing 5 things at one with no timer and just knowing, hey, my bread's ready. Here, it was a completely different animal. I'm looking at 3 times the size with 3 times the production, and I can't be everywhere. I can't remember that I'm doing all these things at once. So it was really a big learning experience there where I was like, all right, Grecia, get it together, so fix it. So get a timer, write things down, and do this process. So it did. It hurt my heart, but now when we mess up, depending on the mess ups, if they're burned, they go in the trash. But if we just mess up on something because we added a little too much butter, a little too much flour to something, which happens with the cookies. The cookies are probably the ones that we're having still a little bit of trouble with. But when we do, we repurpose it. So we, like, for example, we messed up the oatmeal cookies last week. And everyone's like, oh, man, that's a big batch to throw away. And I'm like, what do you mean throw away? We're not throwing it away. Like, we're repurposing it. So we ended up getting it, making it into a crumble, and now that's the crumble for the topping of our banana nut muffin and banana nut bread.
Nice.
So those are the little things that you always have to see the upside to them. Never just throw things away. There's always a purpose for them. There's always something that you can do with them. There's something that you can do with them as far as like adding new flavors. So that's where the going to the bar and getting flavors on there. I'm like, okay, I messed up the oatmeal cookies. So they have oatmeal, they have raisins, they have nuts, they have this, that, and the other. What can we make with them? What can it pair with? What ingredients do I have in my bake shop right now that I can, jazz it up and put it out? So if you ever see anything in our display that looks like, I haven't seen that in a minute, just ask us what we messed up. We'll let you know. We'll let you know.
That's awesome. That's a good way of looking at it. It's kind of one of those half full cups.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, you have
analogies.
to. Yeah, you have to. I feel like if you're just going to be a negative Nancy all the time, you're going to have a cloud of, crap over you. And that's just going to be what you're going to continue to show. And that's not what I want in my bake shop. I always wanted it to be a very light area where you have problems. When you go to work, you have problems. So leave them at the door. Let's make this the spot that you come in and you enjoy your time with your girls. Because it is nothing but girls in my bake shop right now. I have one gentleman that's washing dishes on the weekends. And then I have another gentleman on Thursday, Fridays, but that's at nighttime. So we're mainly a bake shop of girls. And like, let me make this your time where you enjoy yourself. You forget about the world. You forget about your problems and everything else that you have. Because when you walk out the door, they're going to be there. Yeah. So enjoy this time. Enjoy making your money. Enjoy creating things. Enjoy messing up on something that's not yours. Like, it's one of those things that I remember Sol telling me. He's like, if you're gonna mess it up now. It's like, you're not having to look at your inventory and the things that you have to do. He's like, this is the time to practice and do things. So I try to tell my girls that too. So I have to lead by that example. I can't go into my bake shop and throw the whole chef like, oh, I'm gonna throw things and be yelling. Like, who's gonna listen to that? Who's gonna want to follow that? Yeah. So I try to lead by that. And
nobody's gonna want to work with
exactly. And I'm like, I'm gonna mess up. There's times where they're looking at me like, Chef, that's not what you said. And I'm like, I'm gonna believe y'all, because there's times where I'm over here saying one thing and then I forget and then I'm saying another and they're like, that's not how it goes. I'm like, let's just go with whatever I told you first. Let's do that, and then we'll deal with the rest.
Well, since you brought up the cookies, I do have to say that I've actually was looking forward to this recording because I was like, I'm gonna go get my cookie.
I brought chocolate chip.
Oh, okay, awesome.
I didn't bring you chocolate chip. I know.
No, it's all right.
I brought you oatmeal pecan though.
No.
But the chocolate chip have been my favorite.
I left them off. I'm gonna bring them in a little bit to show off into the camera. But this is beyond, I'm more than grateful.
Of course, thank you.
But I was looking for. I was like, I'm gonna get that chocolate because I had it the last time I came. And I was like, I'm looking forward to it. And even yesterday, we were at a panaderia. It was one of those Mexican restaurants where it's a Mexican restaurant and also a panaderia. And we were passing by, and in the display there was a chocolate chip cookie, and I was like, and that's my like I said, sweets are not my thing. Desserts, I don't care. But chocolate chip cookies, I'm like, I'll get it. But I passed by and I was like, no, I'm gonna get one tomorrow at baked. So I can't imagine how you say like you're still learning. Like you have it down packed. Like
Thank you.
I will come. I will say all the way from San Antonio. It's not that far. I will come just for the chocolate chip cookies.
Thank you. I
and
appreciate
the Pop-Tarts. That's for sure.
Thank you. You should have seen my cookies when they first started.
They were bad.
They were bad. I'm gonna send you a picture. They were really bad. Like they were flat, kind of flavorful, but not really. Están feitas.
Yeah,
for sure. Están
yeah,
feitas.
send me a picture. Well, I'm curious because your cookie also has a weird shape, like the ones that I've never like. They're like kind of like, but also like dipped in a little.
Yes.
I'm glad you said yes because I was like, am I misremembering?
No, yeah, they're a little dipped in, and that's kind of what I like. So it's like they're not cooked all the way, but they're not undercooked either. They're like right in that median. Just because I really like texture when I look at a cookie. I like the crunchy on the outside. I can never decide what I want, right? So I had to do that in my cookie. So it's like the crunchy on the outside, kind of chewy in the middle, and then right in the center, it's ooey gooey.
That's
so
the best.
You get a little bit of everything on there.
That is the best. And I think that's why I enjoyed it the most because it's like I have a big bite, so like it was like I got all three in one.
I'm like, I love that. Have you ate it warm?
I want to say I heated it up, but I don't think so. I think I went all in.
In the microwave for like 20 seconds, 30
you know what
seconds.
No, then I'm going to say
So good.
I didn't, and I should have. I probably planned to, but or I had planned to, but I just went in. I just dug into it. What I did heat up was the croissant. I was going to say croissant.
Oh, the croissant. Yes.
I did heat that up. And I wasn't sure if I heated it up because I thought about it or because somebody at the shop told me.
They probably told you, yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay.
It just activates the butter.
Yes.
So the butter comes back out. If you leave them sitting out for a few hours, the butter gets cold. So anything cold is just going to seize and just be on the dough. But if you put it in the microwave, I mean, you can put it in the microwave, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend an oven. Put it in the oven, let it be in there for about five minutes or so. Bring it back out, and it just makes it crispy again. All the butter comes out again. It activates. It's like you just took it out. They're so good.
I did the microwave, but at night and
was it crunchy or soggy?
I think it was. I remember it was flaky because I took it out, and I was like, ooh.
Okay.
And then I just started falling apart. No. Like
I haven't done it in the microwave yet. That's what I was asking.
But no, it was good. I didn't leave it for too long. I think like 10, 15 seconds.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's actually perfect. Just
to
to activate the butter, yeah.
Yeah, it was just to get it a little bit warm there. Because I'm notorious for burning stuff in the microwave.
Yo también.
Yeah, so that's my cooking skills right there. And it's funny, earlier you were mentioning like you don't like cooking with timers. Like what is that about people? Like some people like I don't. And my wife comes in just the other day. We were making fajitas in the oven. Because I didn't want to do it on the grill. I'm not a Saul.
It's a lot of cleaning too, man.
Well, I wanted to do it in the grill, but she was like, by the time you put the grill out and you clean it and then you get the fire going, it's gonna be, I was like, all right.
It's gonna be 9 o'clock at night already. We're gonna be eating.
Yeah, exactly. So I did it in the oven, but I don't put timers or anything. And I'm sitting there on my computer working on stuff, and she's like, "Is this done? Not yet. How do you know?" I just know.
I just feel it in my soul.
Yeah, it's like, well, it smells like it's done. It's like, it's not done. And so it's like, how do you know? How long have you had it? I was like, I don't know. Sure enough, it needed a few more minutes, but she was getting worried. But I do that a lot with everything.
I do too. And I had to stop when I got here, obviously, because I told you it was a whole different animal for me. So it's depending on what I'm doing at the bake shop would depend if I put a timer on there or not.
Yeah.
There's times where the girls are like, "Chef, is there a timer for this? Do you have a timer?" And I'm like, "I don't." And they're looking at me like, "Do I take it out? Do I not?" And I'm like, give it another minute. And as soon as I say another minute, they're like, "Timer, 1 minute." I'm like, okay, but it's good because 1 minute. And I always tell them, and they come back and they use this on me. They're like, "Chef, a minute in the oven is a minute too long." Because I tell them that. They're like, I tell them, like, 1 minute in there can completely burn it and ruin it. So every once in a while, they'll look at me and they're like, "Chef, a minute. You're the one that told us a minute is a minute too long." And I'm like, "You're not wrong."
No, that is hardcore true because I know. I look at even just like doing like frozen pizza in the oven. Like I'll put it on. It's like it's still raw. It needs a few more minutes, and a few more minutes will pass by. Maybe even less.
Yes,
than a few
negrito.
minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like oh, I was like I'm sorry, I burnt the pizza.
Yep.
It's like it was just there, but there is something about like there's a sweet spot without the timer. There is a sweet spot that if you get it right, it's there.
I agree.
It's golden.
I agree. I don't know. It's just more satisfying for me too. Like, oh, I got it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. With the timer, I feel like I'm rushed now, and I'm like, en friega. Wait, I got 10 minutes. Oh, I gotta do this, do that, and I'm like, we're good.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fine. Yeah. This morning I cooked with no timers, and I was baking. I was like, oh, because Sundays I get to bake. Normally the girls get to bake, and Sundays are my day that I get to bake. So today I got to bake, and I was like, ooh, this feels good. I was like, I haven't done this in a minute.
Nice. All right, so we do have a little bit of here. That doesn't make sense. A little bit of baked, actually, we should say. A little bit of baked in this box. But before I open up this box, I do want to say one thing. That is, cheers.
Cheers. Yes, it's 5:00 somewhere, right?
It's the beauty thing about recording and editing. Nobody knows what time this is.
Exactly.
It could be 5:00 in the morning, 5:00 in the afternoon.
Ay, lucecita. We're good.
Yeah. Who knows? But you brought me this, and I'm really intrigued into seeing what's going on. I kind of opened. I was up actually on the way over here. I was trying to open it. I was like, no, I'm gonna wait for it. But I got a little bit of open, and it still smells like pan, like panaderia.
It's that nice little smell, right? It's like that familiar smell when you like open the box and you're like, oh, it's gonna be so good.
Which I will say, I dislike going to like Subway because I don't like the way their bread smells.
Yeah.
But panaderias, bake shops, everything like they have a really good smell of, and this is what this smelled like.
It's funny you say that. So my building finally has like impregnated the panaderia smell. It took so long. It just smelled like construction.
Yeah.
And now like you walk in on a day off on a Monday and it just reeks of butter and sugar. And I'm just like, oh, it's so good. I was like, I love it.
That is awesome. It's crazy how things get like the buildings just grasp. Because even downstairs, like it smells like, for Blue Lacy, it smells like
smoky.
Yeah, but not like in a bad way.
No,
it's enjoyable. Like
absolutely.
When I walked in before it was open, that's what it smelled like, and I was like, it smells, but it's like it's not even. There's nothing going on. There's people still cleaning and So this is what this smells like. It smells like baked goods.
Got a little bit of everything in there. God. Got some croissants.
Some croissant witch.
Yep.
No. All right,
those are some of the popular ones. The cinnamon sugar. One's perfect for a cafecito.
Try to do this without dropping anything.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of taste. You'll see them. I'll take them out. So, I did not. I had the ones that it kind of looks like a horn.
Was it the one that I was about to say? Okay, the stuffed one.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have in pistachio.
Oh, I made a mess with that. Yeah.
Oh, they are. They're so messy. And I try to tell people that I'm like, if you're gonna get a stuffed croissant, like be ready to have something to catch it under, because it's almost like a taco. Like you have to have something underneath because you're gonna scrape up all that pastry cream. Because we have a pistachio, Nutella, and then strawberry. Those are our top
I think
three.
Strawberry.
Yeah, we did ube here for a minute, but ube kind of transitioned out. We took it out come beginning of April. We took ube out. We'll be back maybe towards the fall. But right now we're transitioning flavors. So the stuffed croissants are going to stay the same with those three, but then we're changing our new stuffed croissants that we're bringing in.
No, I made a huge mess. And I did put like a napkin underneath. I put a one sheet of a napkin. And I just all over, and then I licked the napkin.
Yeah, it's so good.
No shit. I mean, I was at my house, nobody to judge me except my wife was already judging me anyways.
So you get a plain croissant on the side, so you can get that croissant and just like como la tortita at the end, and just like that.
That's yeah. I'm gonna have to do that. But this one right here,
that's my favorite. Actually,
is beautiful, by the way. Like,
thank you. That's my favorite.
Not to drop it, but
yeah, that's my favorite one out of all of them.
What does it have in the middle?
It's good. It has some custard. So the same pastry cream that we have on the stuffed croissants, we put it in here, but we bake it in it. So we make a little well. We put the pastry cream inside. We bake it off, and it almost comes out like a flan, like a brulee It's a cooked custard, so it's very nice and sweet on the inside, very malty. That's my favorite one.
My son loves strawberries and blueberries, so as soon as he sees that, he's gonna.
I try to have one of those once a day.
Yeah.
Sometimes me paso, and I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna have it for a few days because I've been indulging in that one for a minute now.
Sounds like I'm not gonna share with him. Then. Okay, let's do this. Looks like it's got gold on it.
Yes, that's a pan chocolate. So that's not my chocolate on chocolate. I didn't have any chocolate blocks today, so I made an original pan chocolate. So that one has 3 batons of chocolate inside. It's got the dough on the outside, nice and crispy.
Wait,
So-
what's on the inside?
Chocolate.
Oh, okay.
So it's the chocolate on. I normally have a chocolate on chocolate.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't have the chocolate dough this week, so I ended up having to just do an original pan chocolate.
But what's this on top?
That is edible gold glitter.
Oh, so it is gold.
Yeah, it is gold glitter.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's kind of my signature. I love shiny and pretty and something that catches the eye. And I don't remember what I was watching one day, and I was like, man, they had like these little gold discs that looked really cute on their stuff, and I was like, I want to do something like that's just me. And I ended up buying some gold glitter and just dusting it on. I was like, that's my signature. And sure enough, we put everything we have, we dust it with gold. So now you know if it's got gold glitter or gold dust, it comes from baked.
Okay.
Nobody can ever take our pictures because that's ours.
No, that's awesome. That is treating you like you have the big bucks.
Try it. Yeah, absolutely.
So I love it. See, staying on brand.
Exactly.
Does it give it any flavor, or is it just
No.
decoration?
Just decoration.
Okay.
I just tell the girls, no te pases, because then, everything else is going to come out glittery later on.
Oh, do you go home with it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We end up in our faces everywhere. I mean, thank goodness we don't have any gentlemen there right now. Their wives would be like, where did you go after work? Because
Yeah.
you're all glittered out right now. It's like, I was at the bake shop all day.
Yeah, that's funny. I can imagine that because
That's going to be an interesting conversation on your first day of work showing up
I promise I was at work the whole time.
the whole time.
This reminds me of like a concha.
Yes, so that's our biggest seller. That's the cinnamon swirl croissant. So that one is a croissant. We bring it out the oven and we swirl it, or we toss it around in cinnamon sugar. That is probably one of.
Try not to make a mess all over.
Oh,
here.
you're good.
But-
That's one of the one that people love. They tear it apart, put it in the cafecito de olla, so it gives that little extra umph of sugar and cinnamon in there. So
No,
that's
that's
a good
good. I
one.
just look at my.
and see, it's funny because I don't like those buñuelos. Anything that's cinnamon sugar, yeah, I'm empaché.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mom had me do buñuelos. Like it was like 200 buñuelos when I was younger, and I cinnamon sugar, nada más ya no te la como.
No.
No.
Just going back to like not a big sweets person. I never ate too many buñuelos, even though it doesn't look like it. This is so good.
Thank
The sugar,
you.
just the sugar alone, by the way.
Thank you.
Again, I'm just blown away by like the ways that croissants can be not a croissant sandwich.
Yes, yeah. There's so many. I love the fact that croissants are so versatile. You can make them in basically anything.
Oh no, I destroyed this other cookie.
Oh,
But look,
that's great.
no.
Oh yeah,
what I
that's
was
the
talking about, like-
pecan.
This is what I was talking about, like the shape of the cookie, and I hope the camera can see it because it's very uniquely shaped. I don't know if anybody else does that.
So
But-
that's a little bit of so my very first cookies that I made at 2M, those were holding their ground, like as far as their shape. If you see some of my Instagrams from when I was at 2M, they're beautiful cookies. I don't know what happened when I got to here, but I used the same exact recipes and they were just everywhere. Like, parecía, I don't even know how to explain it. It was like a cookie sheet instead of a cookie. So we ended up using rounds, and that just kept its integrity and its shape, and that also gave us a very tender cookie. So we ended up just keeping it, and I mean, it makes for a really nice cookie too. Very even, nice cookie.
Yeah.
That's the newcomer.
So this is the what?
That's the newcomer. That one started about about a month ago maybe. We just brought out the oatmeal cookie.
Right. So this one, I can't show it all because it's like I kind of messed it up and I broke it apart.
That one's soft.
But this one is not gonna make it home. I'm gonna tell you that.
It wouldn't make it home either. That's his soul's favorite now. It used to be the chocolate chip cookie. That's become his favorite now. Is the oatmeal raisin one. Don't lie.
No more. That's definitely not gonna make it home.
No, that's awesome.
My
I
wife
love
is
it.
not gonna try that. She's gonna try everything
But she'll
else.
try everything else.
No, I have to give her a little piece, but That is good.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm glad.
I'm not waiting till I get into my truck and say that.
Thank you.
No, this is delicious. That might even beat the chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, the oatmeal raisin. Everybody gives it like a la cara de. I'm like, it's good.
Yes, well, because I feel like we're grown or bred to believe
It's grandma's
cookies.
cookie.
Well, yeah,
It's grandma's cookie.
Yeah, that's yeah. Avoid those cookies because they're not good. But no, these are good.
Thank you.
And I'm trying to get the flavor of what. There's a different other than oatmeal. I'm not like the best though.
A little special spice in there.
Yeah.
Remember how I
Is
said
it
we're CIA in here, you know?
Oh no, I'm being tapped.
There's a few things we don't share.
Oh, there's some.
But there is a little special spice in there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's something different there. And then this is a blueberry muffin.
That is our blueberry muffin.
What's on top? What is the?
So that's a crumble. It's a vanilla crumble that we make. We make our blueberry muffins a little different. Most places just do a batter with blueberries inside, and they kind of just, bust open when they're in the oven. We decided to take a little bit of a different approach. My Sue in training right now, she wanted to put some jam on the inside and swirl it in. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So she did, and it's awesome because now you get the jam plus the actual fruit and then the muffin itself. So it's really nice. It was a really nice combination for sure.
I've had something that looked like that recently. Not recently. Maybe sometime last year. Which is pretty good. So I can imagine this is going to be better. And I'm not just saying that.
Thank you. I hope so. Let me know if it's not. I accept criticism of all types because if not, you're not growing. So you got to know when you're messing up.
I'll make an Instagram story. I won't Yelp it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That way I can reshare it.
But I'm being serious. That cookie, as soon as I get into my truck, it's going to have another bite in it.
I'm glad. Thank you.
So good. I'm going to do this.
Yep.
What do you see in yourself in the future? I know Saul has 2 shops or two restaurants. Are you looking to expand, thinking of expanding?
I do. I would love to expand baked and bring it into San Antonio. I think that would be great. I want to make it a little bit bigger. When we started this particular project, I wanted a very small lobby and a bigger bake shop. Just because I wanted to do more R&D, I wanted to do more practicing in there, more testing. I wanted to make it like an experimental kitchen, and I thought that I had enough room in that kitchen until we got in. Now everybody's like, "Oh, we need a bigger kitchen." I was like, "Dude, we do." So my goal is eventually to have a bigger spot in San Antonio, somewhere where people can come in and sit down, grab sandwiches, grab lattes. We didn't do coffee here just because we already do have coffee shops in Castroville, and I'm not coming in to step on anybody's toes. Mm-hmm. And I also didn't want to have to hire a barista and do all that stuff. So that's when we brought in the Cafecito de Olla, and it's been a hit. It's been great. But I feel like expanding and moving into San Antonio, we want to create a different vibe where people are sitting down and enjoying things. But I still don't think that we're going to do coffee in your latte and cappuccinos and stuff. Yeah. I think I want something different. I want to bring in different ethnicities, bring in the Jamaican coffee, bring in the Turkish coffee, maybe some Mexican, café de olla. There's so many different avenues to coffee, and we have been, in my opinion, been so limited to just your traditional cortados, cappuccinos, lattes, drips, Americanos. Like, let's bring in something different. Yeah. And that's why I say it's a bake shop, but not a French bake shop. It's not a Mexican bake shop. It's just a bake shop. We have so many things coming out. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that. I like the idea of you moving into San Antonio, which is, again, Castroville is not far from San Antonio at all. Even if you're coming from the farthest end of San Antonio, everything in San Antonio is a 20-minute drive.
Yep.
This is about 20, 25 minutes.
Yep.
So even it felt a little daunting just getting into my truck. I was like, I gotta go out of town. But then I put it the GPS, and before I knew it, I was already here.
Yeah, you're already.
Yeah.
Yep. As soon as you pass 211, you're like, oh.
Yeah,
right on the street.
Right there. Yeah. Yep. And I always forget how close it is. But no, I appreciate this, and I appreciate your time.
Of course.
I know we're
Thank
coming.
you for asking us to be on the show.
No, thanks for being. You could have said no, but I'm glad you did it.
No, absolutely not. This is super cool.
But it would be awesome to see you guys in San Antonio. See you in San Antonio. But I don't know, something about the shop here and being a small town and the way it is, like you said, small.
We're tiny but mighty.
Yeah, but I think it's like such a genius thing to have it all. Like as soon as you walk in, it's like boom, right there, like a little square, and everything's in your face. So
Yes.
and that's why I'm like, I want everything.
And that's what we did too. So a lot of the places that I was seeing here in San Antonio, and the places that we went to, like San Diego and New York, I absolutely love New York. I can spend days there and come back and spend more days there and still not even go through a quarter of it. But what I really liked was that they brought a lot of the French-inspired displays. So I don't know if you noticed, but our display is a little bit different than most. Most places you go, we're gonna have like an actual glass display. But when we first started, I had wanted the original one where everything's like lined up, right, and it looks nice and pretty, and it's very like corporate-ish. And then I looked and I was like, it looks kind of bland. Like it's not me. It's not my personality. It's just not me. And one day a soul came in and he had to work because somebody called in. And I walked to the front and he's got like all of my trays out. They're all stacked in different sizes and heights. And I'm like, this looks beautiful. And he's like, do you like it? I was like, yes. This is what I can say is baked. Like this is amazing. Even the girls came out and they're like, damn, this soul's doing her job better than us. I was like, I'm about to fire all of y'all. Just keep us all. Yes. But no, we were all in awe. We're like, dang, like that's really nice. And ever since we've adapted to that. Like he was the one that started our display and we love it. And just having the bake shop be so personal with the decorating. Like right now we have for Fiesta, and as soon as Fiesta's over, we're gonna knock that down. And what's the next holiday coming up? We want the bake shop to feel homey. You come in and it's Instagrammable. It's something that you walk in and it feels warm. It feels good to be in there. And I want you to be overwhelmed. I want you to be in there and be like, no sé qué quiero. You know what? Give me one of everything. Be like, yes.
I was. And I was like looking at the people
I'm like,
in line. I'm like, sorry.
It's
gonna
working.
Be a while. I was. And I do remember like how everything was where I was kind of like, there's a chocolate chip cookie over here, but then there's something else over here.
Yes.
And then, but this same thing was over here too. Like,
yes.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to take it.
And we used to have it to where like all the muffins were like on one side, all the cookies were on one side, the laminations were on another. So like giving everybody that like where your eye is just wandering like, oh, I don't know where. Oh, it's great. I love walking into that.
Yeah, especially, humans can probably be like, oh, maybe me. Like if I see all the muffins in one, I'm like, oh, that looks good. But by the time I'm over here, I'm like, all right, that's not happening.
And that's why we're not even using all of our displays. We're still not using like our cold displays and our hot displays and our freezer. I eventually want to have ice cream in there. I want to have croissants that are frozen so that you can take them home and bake them off yourself. Cookies that you can bake off yourself. Just ready hot meal or cold meals that you can, take and do casseroles that you can do at home. So we have a lot of stuff coming in. It's just getting our bearings. Like I told you, we're still learning. It's brand new. I'm still learning how to even handle the bake shop. So there's still a lot of things that are coming in the works. It's coming in slowly. It's coming in slowly.
Well, I'm excited to see what comes in and what comes out when I come in.
Absolutely.
But I appreciate your time. I hope that we can do this again.
Absolutely.
It's on camera, so you already said yes.
Yes.
No, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your gift. This is awesome. And we're going to get to your Too Hard, Too Fast story. Yeah. But before we get to that, it's work. I know it's in Castroville, but what is the address for Baked?
So our address is 409 Paris Street, Castroville, Texas, 78009.
And where should people follow you or the shop?
So we've got Instagram, which is baked SATX, baked _SATX, and then La Reina de Postres for my personal one. We also got a Facebook, which is baked SATX as well. We have a TikTok, which is baked SATX, And we've got a Twitter, but I'm never on that. I'm not going to lie to you. Twitter's overwhelming.
Yeah.
But we do have a TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Nice. Too hard, too fast story. So it could be a drunk funny story, a funny story, a cautionary tale, or words of wisdom. Whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
You know what? I think probably one of the biggest things for me is that I guess it could be a words of wisdom for me. It's never too late to start over. I had some, I'm not going to say rough 20s, but they were 20s where I didn't really find myself or find what I wanted to do in life. I had been married at that time, and there was nothing that pushed me or had the passion for me to do anything. And when I got divorced and I decided that I needed to focus on me and focus on my life, I was doing it. I was there, and I found my husband, and my now husband, as a whole, and it just completely transformed who I was and what I was doing. When you find a partner that just pushes you to be better, become better, and want to do better, right? It was something that came from me, but having that backup, having that, having just someone that is willing to be there with you through the good and bad was amazing. And that's also what pushed me into becoming who I am now as a pastry chef, as a person, as a wife, as a sister, as a daughter. It's just the people that I surrounded myself. I surrounded myself with some people that I knew were maybe not the best for me, or I put myself in situations that were probably not the best for me. So when I finally got a little bit older and I started seeing things, it was one of those that I was a little embarrassed because I was already going into my 30s, and I'm like, ¿qué estás haciendo con tu vida? Like, one of those things that your parents is talking to you and you're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But I did. Like, I finally had that aha moment of, what are you doing? What are you doing? Is it too late? Could you do anything? What are you going to do with yourself? It's too late to go to school. It's too late to do things. And no, I mean, it's never too late. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter what profession you have at the moment. We've all changed from profession to profession. I have people that are changing their profession right now to be in the bake shop, and it's amazing. It's amazing seeing a lot of us grow and just not have a limit because of age or because of where you're at in life. You can always pick yourself up and, reinvent yourself. You can always pick yourself up and, do better. And I feel like that's one of the things that we should encourage more people to do, is not shit on people's dreams, is basically, you know what I mean? Definitely. Like, be there and do it, and, encourage your friends, encourage your family, instead of being like, ya estás viejo, ¿para qué estás haciendo eso? Like, no, man, like, yeah, if you're 50 years old, get it done, change it. It's up to you. It's up to you, and your happiness depends on you, nobody else. So that's something that I finally learned. I'm gonna be 37 now, and I'm very glad that I learned it in my 30s rather than being a lot older and, not maybe being there, and maybe then I won't be able to do this. Yeah. So right now it was something that I definitely learned. Yeah, it was great.
That's awesome. And that never too late is the perfect saying, because I've talked to so many people where either they realize it's never too late and they switch something, or people that are still stuck and they're like, I'm too old for it. And no, it's never too late. And it's the perfect way to come full circle with this podcast, because it was never too late to restart this podcast.
It wasn't.
When I realized I didn't press the record button.
We were just practicing. I don't know what we were talking about.
Right. But thank you for your time. Cheers.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. We look forward to being on this podcast for sure.
We were on it already. But no. Again, twice. Actually, look, we can say you're a two-time guest.
I am.
Technically, we did. Remember, dare to be you, dare to be weird. Bye.
Bye, guys. Man, this one was fun. This was definitely the funnest one I've done. For sure.
I appreciate it.
I like it. Even
with me messing up.
No, it was fun. That's probably the best part.